Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the hot football news of July 9, 2025 from Harry. Last night, the FIFA Club World Cup returned with the semi-final match between Fluminense and Chelsea. This was a fateful reunion as Thiago Silva faced his former club. Let's see if Fluminense could stop the strength of the English representatives. João Pedro shines, sends Chelsea to the final. Against Fluminense last night, Chelsea went up against their former player Thiago Silva. But Fluminense also had to face their former star João Pedro, who made his first start for Chelsea just days after joining. Chelsea controlled the game from the start, especially as Fluminense opted for a defensive setup with a back five. The Blues struggled to break through the solid defensive block, but João Pedro broke the deadlock in the 18th minute with a stunning strike from the edge of the box. The Brazilian forward refrained from celebrating out of respect for his former club, where he made his professional debut at age 17. Fluminense then pushed forward and created some chances. They were even awarded a penalty, but VAR intervened and overturned the decision. As Fluminense began to apply pressure in the second half, Pedro delivered the knockout blow in the 56th minute. He broke down the left flank following a clever pass from Enzo Fernandez, beat Ignacio, and fired a powerful shot that hit the crossbar and went in, sealing the win for Chelsea. With this victory, Chelsea advanced to the FIFA Club World Cup final. As for Pedro, it didn't take him long to make a mark for the club that just spent £60 million to acquire him.
Real Madrid determined to keep young stars shining at Club World Cup. According to Football España, coach Xabi Alonso plans to use Gonzalo Garcia in the 2025-2026 season. The former Spanish star is pleased with the 21-year-old striker's performance at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, where he scored 4 goals in 5 matches. Real are even considering not signing another striker this summer to redirect funds to other positions. Coach Alonso has full faith in the talents of Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., and Gonzalo Garcia. Garcia's sharp finishing, smart movement, and composure in key moments have attracted attention from top clubs across Europe. Chelsea reportedly offered €40 million for Garcia, but were turned down by Real. With his current form, Garcia's market value is rising rapidly. At 21, his estimated value has jumped from €1 million in June 2024 to €8 million currently. According to Transfer, if Garcia maintains his impressive form and continues earning Alonso's trust, his value could rise even higher. Manchester United continue talks for Mbeumo. According to The Daily, Manchester United have held fresh talks with Bryan Mbeumo and Brentford to finalize his transfer as soon as possible. The Red Devils have essentially agreed on personal terms with the Cameroonian forward. What remains is finalizing the transfer fee and payment structure with the London club. Brentford are hoping to receive at least £60 million for their star and are only accepting payment in a maximum of 2 installments. United hope Brentford will accept a £50 million bid plus £5 million in add-ons, paid in 3 installments. Mbeumo had a standout season with 20 Premier League goals. Tottenham are also interested in the striker. New Spurs boss Thomas Frank wants to reunite with his former player, but Mbeumo is believed to prefer a move to United. The Red Devils aim to close the deal before the squad departs for their preseason tour. Luis Diaz sets condition for Barcelona move. According to Mundo Deportivo, Luis Diaz is willing to accept a contract with no release clause, the same term that made Nico Williams refuse a move during negotiations with Barca. This means that if Barcelona, due to financial issues, cannot register Diaz, he could leave freely to protect his career. However, AS reports that Diaz's representatives have proposed a different solution. Instead of allowing him to leave for free, they want to include a clear financial compensation clause. Specifically, if by the registration deadline, August 31st, Barcelona still cannot officially register Diaz, the club must pay a significant compensation to cover lost time and playing opportunities. This clause is seen as a middle ground. Diaz cannot unilaterally terminate his contract and leave freely, but also won't be stuck at Camp Nou without playing in the first half of the season. In the worst-case scenario, where he must wait until the winter transfer window to find a new team, the compensation would provide reassurance for Diaz to move forward with joining Barcelona. However, prying Diaz away from Liverpool won't be easy, as the English club has set a very high asking price for the Colombian forward. Falcao still wants to play, at nearly 40. Radamel Falcao officially became a free agent in July, after ending his contract with Millonarios FC, the club of his youth. Falcao scored 11 goals in 29 matches for the Colombian side, despite starting only 15 games and coming off the bench 14 times. At age 39, The Colombian legend still wants to play at a high level. Several clubs from Malaysia, MLS, Argentina, and Mexico have contacted Falcao, but the former Atletico Madrid star is still considering his options. The striker, born in 1986, expressed sadness about not being able to continue with Millonarios, but the final decision was made. The club lacked the finances and ambition to keep Falcao shining. According to O, Falcao even turned down several lucrative offers in hopes of staying, but financial issues forced his departure. He is currently weighing offers to continue his career. Liverpool returned to training in a somber mood. According to plan, several Liverpool players were supposed to return to training last Friday, but the club postponed the schedule to mourn Diogo Jota. Coach Arne Slot and many first-team players attended the funeral of the two brothers in Portugal on Saturday. Upon returning to the training center, Liverpool players gathered in a somber atmosphere. Surrounding them were countless floral tributes, including ribbons bearing the words of the club's iconic anthem, "You'll Never Walk Alone." The reigning Premier League champions are scheduled to play their first summer friendly against Preston North End on July 13th. However, it is still unclear whether the match will go ahead as planned. Jota was speeding during crash. According to the latest updates from European media, the investigation into Diogo Jota's accident is still ongoing. However, the Spanish Civil Guard has initially stated that the Lamborghini Jota was driving suffered a tire blowout, lost control, and veered off the road while exceeding the speed limit. Earlier, authorities hadn't confirmed who was driving, but now, police believe Jota was behind the wheel. The accident happened early in the morning on a quiet highway. The car caught fire so intensely that both brothers couldn't escape. Jota was en route to Santander, Spain, to catch a ferry to England instead of flying due to a recent lung surgery, which left him advised to avoid air travel. The funeral of Jota and Silva was an emotional ceremony held at Igreja Matriz Gondomar last Saturday. Presided over by Bishop Manuel Linda, Jota's wife, Ruth Cardoso, clutched a white rose as she bid her husband farewell. The couple had 3 young children who did not attend the service. The football world is still reeling from the tragic car crash that took both Jota and his brother Silva. This devastating loss has left a deep pain for teammates, friends, and family. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up today's football news from Harry. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye, and see you in our next news bulletin.